welcome back to my channel, Heidi's Beer Corner, with me, Heidi, and my co-host, Alfred. Alfred is a Moomin ancestor, and he has a familial relation to Bertil, who is also a Moomin ancestor, and Bertil is the one of my two co-hosts on my main channel, Heidi's Corner. Please check that one out too. Links are in the description box of this video. So, in this video, again, I will introduce you to another porter type beer. As the name of the video tells you, it's from a brewery named Põhjala, and this particular beer is called Must Kuld, which is Estonian for black gold. And I can understand why, because the color is ruby brown to black in color, and all the beers from the uh, the Pohjala brewery that I've tasted so far, both on and off camera, have been excellent. I mean, this Põhjala brewery makes, as well as another Estonian brewery, Pühaste, they make wonderful imperial stouts, porters, Baltic porters, etc. But to that kind of beers, that's a completely different video, which I will make at some point. So, what kind of beer is porter? Well, the color is from dark ruby brown to black. The alcohol content is somewhat high, uh, from 6% onwards, 6% alcohol by volume. This type of beer originated in England in the early 1700s, and this type of beer was immensely popular with the working class people and the porters. Porters were a profession who were carrying or transporting loads for other people. And this beer type was named after these port people who were called porters. Uh, Porter beers are brewed with top fermenting um, ale yeast. An exception to this are Baltic porters, which are bottom fermented beers, and I will probably talk about these different yeasts in a separate video at some point, maybe. Um, the color is really beautiful, and is well known, and there are um, dark malts which attributes to this dark brown to black colors, and caramel flavors. It's quite a heavy and hearty beer. It's very well rounded typically, and well balanced. Anyone who has been to Ireland, you are or heard of the Irish, of any sort of Irish beer, you've heard of Guinness. Guinness beer, the wonder of Irish beer culture, or one of the big wonders of Irish beer culture. Um, Porters and stouts are um, very closely related, and stouts uh, may originally have been a subtype or a style of porter that was then developed into um, a distinct and separate kind of type of beer. However, it's the lines are sometimes blurred between the two, um, as well, especially because of the origins. They were a bit two different names. I think were porter and porter stouts and stout porter, depending on the strength of the particular beer. So they were really closely related. Different type, you know, half, you know, maybe half sibling, a cousin, something like that. Maybe humans, modern humans and Neanderthal. But that's a whole other discussion in a different field. But sometimes they brewers use one name or the other to describe an individual beer. For example, porter, even though it may be closer to a stout, and vice versa. Uh, as stated, the history of both of these beers are intertwined and somewhat a little hard to trace. Porters were created sometime during the 1700s, depending on it could some say early 1700s, some say mid 1700s, but it's most likely that when English brewers developed a blend of the three types of ale: old stale or sour ale, near brown and pale ales, and mid or mild or weak ales. They came up with this type of beer. It was a product of the Industrial Revolution in the UK, and one of the first beers that specifically formulated to cater the drinker's tastes rather than the ingredients at hand, which had dictated much of the beer trade or beer brewing. They were limited what they could get their hands on in terms of grain, malt, hops, etc. And the name porter, as I said previously, came from porters, the sort of very specific type of transportation workers of in central London area. And stout was originally the name for the strongest porters, which it's. But nowadays there are quite a lot of strong porters, Baltic porters, and then stouts and imperial stouts can then again be um, insanely high in alcohol content by volume. The highest I've purchased so far is an imperial stout is 13.6 percent alcohol by volume. I still have it, and that will be a subject of another video at a later date. The similarities between the two, and especially the Põhjala brewery, the porters that they make an Baltic porters that they make, the dark brown to black color. It's opaque without being cloudy. It's often pale malt, but it depends on the beer and the brewery, and but it's also the pale malt is sort of the base that they typically would, but not always, that they rely on, and then the dark malt also enhances the effects of the taste and the brewing process of the pale malts that are as the base there, and it's often chocolates and black malts as well as crystal malts, and stouts tend to be a bit more roasted with roasted barley, and porters generally not. Anyway, these porters are very good. These Baltic porters, and the breweries around the Baltic Sea, Finland, Sweden, and the Baltic countries, Estonia, where Põhjala, where the Põhjala breweries from the Pyhaste breweries, and chocolates, also porters and stouts may be flavored to chocolate, coffee, oatmeal, fruit, honey, maple, nuts, etc., and chocolate, which is quite nice. I kind of like my type of beer is kind of full bodied and sweet in general taste. But pale ale, India pale ales, etc. Wheat beers, etc. are also very good. So, as stated previously, and the title says, it's the brewery is Põhjala, and it's called Kuld. There, it's Estonian. It means black gold, and it's a porter type beer. I'll probably post the picture of the bottle somewhere up here while editing, and this has 7.8% alcohol by volume. So, as the name suggests, it's black. It's really black. It's dark amber, dark amber brown to black. These porter type beers, and this is really black gold. And the head, as typical, is very light for porter and stout beer. Porter beers and imperial stouts I've found. There's many very fruit, maybe a bit fruity, and be maybe a bit raisin, I don't know, and then the taste is very, and the mouthfeel is very thick, or very full, and it's really dark malt. The malt is clearly very dark or even black malt. It's well hopped, well-rounded taste. I highly recommend. As stated previously, I'll probably put the bottle here, the picture of the bottle. Well, thank you again for watching my video on my Hades Beer Corner channel. Also, don't forget to check my main channel, Hades Corner. The link is in the description box down below. Also, down below, click like, subscribe, and tickle the notification bell to get all notifications from all the content on my Beer Corner channel. Also, this is my co-host, Alfred. Alfred is a Moomin ancestor, Bertil's relative. The connection will be revealed at some point, maybe. Who knows? Until the next time, bye.